Alright everyone, what's going on? Welcome to episode 9 of my LEGO custom minifigures review, and for the next 3 episodes they're going to be quite special because now we are looking at horror icons. So throughout these next 3 episodes there are 12 minifigures for this horror mini-series, as I like to say, and there's going to be ones from like nearly every movie that I've seen, or basically, there are 2 from a video game that I've never played before, but you'll see that in about episode 11. But yeah, I thought today we start off with 4 of the most iconic horror villains that there is known to the movie industry. And basically, these are known as the Titans of Terror. So today we're going to be looking at Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, and Michael Myers. So we're just going to take these 3 away for now. I'm just knocking Freddy out, and we're going to be looking at the person, the character that gave me a lot of nightmares, as to quote, when I was younger, which is Freddy Krueger. So I'm going to make sure that this is like angled the best way that I can. So not really in focus quite a lot. He doesn't like to be focused on quite a lot. I'll tell you what, let's leave him on the stand and I'll do my best to show you what this guy's like. So as you can tell, Freddy Krueger is one of the scariest horror villains there is. I mean, just look at him. The guy has burnt face and all that from this. I won't say it was an accident I had in the Nightmare on Elm Street films. He was basically burnt to death in a way, because if you watch the films then you'd know. I don't want to go into it if you do want to watch the films, or if they're a bit too scary and that. I could completely understand that, but this guy gave me little nightmares the first time I watched the original. I gotta say, Robert Englund did a good job, so thank you for frightening me. So going to the minifigure itself, he has got his iconic fedora as well as his red and dark green sweater. I always thought it was red and black striped. I am really colourblind, but it looks like it's red and dark green. I wish I can go more about the face. Again, like what I said, he is a burnt character in that. And I don't know really what to say about Freddy Krueger quite a lot, because obviously I did not keep up with most of the lore growing up. But this minifigure is fully detailed. It looks like he's got claw rip marks in his sweater. And if you notice that one of his hands is quite different, because he has his finger knives. And his finger knives are one of the most common, not one of the most common I should say, the most iconic horror weapon known in the horror industry, because it's basically a glove with finger knives on it. This is what he uses to get rid of his victims. But if you know, this is a character that like gets his victims during their dreams and that's quite terrifying. That's what terrified me quite a lot when I was a kid, when I first watched the original. But he's sporting his brown pants as well. Again, I think that was the original colour of the pants, unless they changed it a bit later on into the films. I've got to say that he does have, he has some markings on the back as well, which I do like. I don't know what they're for, but they're just there. They're just there. I really like the details. But if we take his fedora off, he's got another face, and I think this is the normal Freddy face before he was killed and he turned into the Dream Demon, I should say. That's what they call him. But yeah, this is supposed to be like Freddy before he got, I think before he got burnt alive, probably. But I really like the detailing of this figure itself. I think it does basically do a good job of portraying Freddy as a character that he is in Lego form. And again, you are not going to see anything like this in a Lego set. So if you ever want a custom Lego Freddy, go and check out City Figures. Link is always available in the description below. And yeah, go pick him up. I think it's a pretty cool minifigure, and nice for my collection. And anyway, we are going to go to our next one, which is his enemy, I should say, his rival, I'm just going to move Freddy out of the way so it can focus on Jason a bit more, which is Jason Voorhees. Now, Friday the 13th is personally one of my favourite horror movie series because the kills in it are so iconic. There's so many creative ways that Jason gets rid of his victims. And it was one of the first horror films that I ever watched. It wasn't the original one that I watched. It was the... I think it was the third part I watched. That was the first Friday the 13th one. And I kind of like the idea of a guy in a hockey mask just like going around the camp and that. And it was quite a creative idea. I can't remember who played him originally. But I do remember it was... oh god, what's his name now? I've completely forgot his name. Kane Hodder, that's it. Kane Hodder played Jason throughout the rest of the other films. I think it was from 6 till 9 or 10. I think it was from not the final chapter, The Last Blood, whatever it was. I forgot the names of it, but he played him in part 6 to Jason X. He didn't return for Freddy vs. Jason. They were played by someone else. But going towards the figure itself, I thought it was going to be a mask piece, and then I realised it was just a headpiece with the printed hockey mask on, which I don't mind. It's pretty cool. So yeah, he's sporting the iconic hockey mask look. Because in the films he wears a hockey mask, and then you can see like his head, you can see his hair, although the hair gets shaved off a bit later on to the films. Going towards his clothes, it looks like they are ragged. He's wearing like a hunter's coat. Going towards the arms as well, I forgot to mention about Freddy. Like he had a detailing on his arms and that with the sweater going across. Looks like he's got creases in the arms, and again on the other side he's got like a patch or something like that. And as you can tell, I'm going to turn him around right now. Since he's like a hockey mask wielding maniac, I should say, he has got a double-sided face. And you can't really like cover it up because obviously it's a hockey mask. But there's a significant difference. You can tell this one's a bit clearer. There's nothing on it. And then the one that I got has got like, if you can see it, it has got, that's if my camera doesn't, yeah, it's a bit blurry. I'll sort that out for next time, guys. But he's got like blood marks, scars on the mask, which I really do like. So I tend to keep it that side. Again, more detail in the bottom with his trousers. Looks like he's wearing some boots, just some rags on his trousers itself. Some creases. Same on the back. Looks like it's got some holes in his jacket. And there's some little creases here at the bottom as well as the boots going towards the back. And he is holding a axe. Now, but if you know Jason Voorhees, he tends to basically go ahead and use any weapon he can to dispatch of the victims around Crystal Lake. And I think the axe is the one I mainly used when the Friday the 13th game. If that's still running to this day, I'd be surprised because it was a really fun game. But I remember using part 3 Jason quite a lot because that was the first Friday the 13th film I watched, and he was carrying an axe throughout the entire film. But looking at this figure, I don't know if it's based on the reboot Jason. I might be wrong. It could be the Freddy vs. Jason version. But go ahead and let me know in the comments below what you think this Jason is and which film it comes from. Alright, going to the next detailed horror icon minifigure. I apologise if I go overboard with the explanation of these. Sometimes I over-exaggerate and I go a bit far into it, I should say. But it is Leatherface. Now, if you know Leatherface, he is from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, and yeah, he's quite cool. He's a really cool detailed minifigure to own. If you can tell by his face, that's not like his actual face. I'm trying to explain it quite a lot, but he tends to basically use the face of his victims and that. So it's a pretty gruesome horror movie. So if you're not really into all that, do not watch it. But it's a classic horror film. But looking at the detail, this has got to be my favourite one so far because look at the detail on the torso. So he's wearing his apron. He's got some. He's got a short sleeve top on, and that. The thing is, like, look, the sleeve is going down here as well as skin. So if you turn it around, that's his actual arm. But then you see the arm print here from the sleeve. I don't know if that's just a misprint or something like that, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, he's got blood stains on his apron, he's got his boots on, he's got like a tie, which I really like. The hairpiece is really accurate as well, I really like that. But let's talk about the main thing as well, and that's his iconic weapon, which is the chainsaw. Now, to me, that's a simple build. Some of the pieces that I own already, not this piece as well, not the saw blade, I don't own that piece, unfortunately. But I don't know why I did not think of creating like a custom chainsaw sooner. But if you want to see a video of me trying to create custom things, go ahead and let me know, I've got loads of parts for it. But going back to the figure, looks like we've got some creases on the sides, and the apron kind of does drape over the legs a little bit right here on the legs. Getting creases here for his boots, or his trousers I should say. Going towards the back, again creases on the back of the torso, and also on the back of the legs as well, which is pretty cool. One of the most highly detailed horror figures in my collection so far. I really love it. Again, it's like a scary film, so I would not recommend to watch it, but again, this minifigure is pretty cool and it's awesome to have. Now, going to the last one in today's video, we're going to be looking at the silent killer, I should say, which is Michael Myers. Now, Michael Myers is from the Halloween film series that started back in the 70s. And again, he's pretty much of a horror icon because he is a man in a mask that stays silent. And he tries to hunt down Laurie Strode, who is basically the rival to him. And Laurie Strode being played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who is also a legend in the horror icon film series. But going to the figure itself, I absolutely love it. The detailing on the mask itself, like, bear in fact this is a William Shatner mask that they used from Star Trek. Pretty cool to find out that about behind the scenes, I never knew that myself. But Michael is sporting a blue sort of jumpsuit, a janitor suit I should say. He's got pockets at the top if you can't see it, but you should be able to if you can be able to zoom in on the video. He's also got some brown boots right there at the bottom, and he's holding a machete, I think, which is a bit weird because I don't think I've ever seen Michael Myers with a machete before. He's always had like a knife, something like that. The hairpiece is big as well, but I think that's supposed to like fit towards the mask or something like that. Maybe like a shorter hairpiece, which I don't mind, but I like the colour printing on it. Going towards the back, it looks like he has a hood on the back of the jumpsuit. And if we take the hairpiece off, sorry about the camera being so shaky, I am taking the head off as well at the same time. He has got another face. I'm just going to leave it like that. And I think this is the face what he has in the second Halloween film, the original one, when he was in a hospital. I'm not going to tell you how that goes because obviously it's a good film, but like I said, it's so scary. Every one of these I'm going to be reviewing for horror icons. They are scary films, and if you don't like scary films or anything like that, I do not recommend watching them. But if you do like them, go ahead and watch them because they are really cool to have. Cool to watch, I should say. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But this Michael Myers is cool to have in my collection. I'm just going to pop his hairpiece back on. Let's have a go, Michael. There we are. No, but honestly, Michael Myers is such an iconic horror villain. The last film being Halloween Ends, unless they reboot it again. I don't know how, but if they do, consider me buying a ticket for it. Alright guys, and there you have it. That is I would say the first part of this Horror Icons Lego Custom Minifigure reviews, but it's also episode 9 of the series. Sorry if I went a bit overboard with explaining what these minifigures were like in the film series that they came from. I did a real poor job of that, but hoping to get better a bit next time for the next episode. Hope you guys did enjoy this. Got to say, out of all of them, Leatherface has got to be my favourite out of this episode. I don't have a least favourite. I can't have a least favourite. They are really good minifigures to collect. But anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy this. And if you did, please do leave a like and subscribe. Go and check out City Figures. The link is available in the description below to their page. Go and support them. And I'll see you all in the next one.